Quality control is vital in materials manufacture because without it, there's no telling what a customer will be receiving, and you're not going to retain a customer if they're just getting anything from the best of the best all the way down to the bottom of the barrel. There's a well-known image that PSI has about our quality standard versus competitors. People are seeking that, and that's what we provided them. What some of our competitors would provide is less than adequate for our standards. So we of course do visuals, we do the hardness, which is the duro, thickness, of course we have tolerances with that, length, width. There's subtle nuances of course with all sorts of parts, but that's primarily what we do. So oftentimes with data that quality control collects, sales can reference back to that, especially with a recurring customer or new customers. There's information for them to go back to that's concrete. It's easy to find, it's easy to access in the system that we have, and they can use that information with those customers, whether that be to bring them back, to answer any questions they may have. And it's also used for us, of course. We refer back to that constantly. So if we get a return from a customer that it's just a part that they don't like, or they find it to be out of tolerance in terms of visuals or dimensions or anything like that, we will do our best to credit that customer, try to make it right for that customer. We'll find an appropriate remedy for that piece. I think PSI as a whole has a solid understanding of the importance of quality control. There's a lot of investment into quality control and ensuring that our process is done correctly. And again, a lot of that leads back into the customer retention. We understand how important that is. Nobody here makes a living without it. So the tools that we use in the quality control process would be primarily calipers, a duro checker. We use micrometers, spring micrometers, depth gauges, ID gauges, height gauges. Some pieces that we receive require very specific tools. So we offer all the way down to plus or minus 1,000th on very specific products. It's not something that we can hold on most other things, but it is something that we provide specifically on our precision cast sheet urethane. Most of the time, a customer requires around plus or minus 30 thousandths on something. That's our typical tolerance, but we also have tolerances that go all the way up to plus any. So anything down to plus or minus 1 to plus any, we have done and we continue to do. Step 1 for quality control on a typical basis would be the pieces that are produced the previous day. They come out of the oven in the morning, they go onto a cart. We find them on the schedule. We'll look at the tolerances that we're given, the color we're given, any call outs that it has, of course. We make sure it matches the criteria. We log any dimensions that are specific to what changes in the production process. And from there, we take our good count, our reject count, if any. We put any specific notes we may have for that data logging. And from that point, assuming the part is good, that part goes out on a shelf. It is then ready for shipping. We are very thorough. Every single piece that comes through here is inspected. We are very, very serious about what we do. So if there's an issue that anybody has with another manufacturer, another supplier, we take great pride in taking those customers and giving them a better product.